at the end of the day, it's still a matter of trying to capture lightning. You know, you can't force it. I can't go, okay, I'm going to write for 3 hours now. It's just got to happen.
Me and Miles are very, we're different and alike at the same time. We like the same things, but our styles are very different, and they complement each other very well. And it's good to have that in the band now, because me and Miles can, push each other.
It's like a real kind of play off one another. It's really cool because, like, with the arrangements, it allows the songs to take on a whole new life, because you can, while I'm doing one thing, he's doing another, and it allows this contrary motion, and it's real exciting. And I agree with him in the sense that we each have separate strengths, so it's not like you have two of the same guitar player. Like his right hand and he's got, in my opinion, one of the greatest ears for hard rock riffs that I've ever heard, and I have a totally different element that I bring to the band, and it works well.
It was a long road getting from finishing up the last tour on the last Alter Bridge record to actually getting in the studio to record this record. It was probably 7 or 8 months of sort of
hell.
It was actually longer than that.
Yeah, I guess it was.
It was about 13 months of just basically we disappeared. I mean, we got done touring in 2005, late 2005, and then we had a little run that we did in Europe in 2006 in the summer. But for the most part, we were in Orlando, just kind of hanging on a limb, not really sure what was going to happen next. And I think that manifested itself in a positive way creatively for the band.
I gotta decide if I want to do that open or not. Open.
Open it up.
Yeah.
Open will sound heavier.
Yeah.
There were enough personal issues, I think, that we were dealing with, and business issues, and so we were able to take all that and make the Blackbird record, and we're real happy with it.
Should we talk about the Watch Over You and how that came about?
Yeah.
When we were being courted for the Universal, when we pretty much had all made up our minds that Universal wanted us, we wanted to be with Universal, we got some phone calls from Tom Mackay, who was head of A&R, our A&R representative, and he said, it's good that you guys are doing all this, really pushing the musicality of the music, but you guys have, you got to have the big song. And Miles had a song written from years and years ago, and he had busted it out on an acoustic, and he was just missing one part of the song, and so we took a bridge I had written and threw it into the song, and then Tom heard the tune and said, all right, the job is done. The record's done. That was the song we needed.
So here we are, back in my little cubby area here, kind of stumped, working on trying to finish up Watch Over You. And it's been a real pain in the ass. Every time you think a song is done, it's not done. We want to make sure we get this one right. Lyrics are good. They can be better. Always want to be able to improve. You want to make it great. It's not great yet. And I'm pulling my hair out. The way I look at it is, if you're going to record it and then you're going to sing it, God knows how many times on tour, you better believe in what you're saying, or people are going to know. We all work real hard to make sure everything's right. Maybe we obsess a little too much sometimes. I think Mark and I are both guilty of that. Michael, tell us about the song Tomorrow Comes.
So, like, we were finishing When Tomorrow Comes. You can't laugh on me, man. I'm gonna...
Take two.
So we were finishing When Tomorrow Comes, and I was like, Miles, we need an acoustic guitar. And he was like, I don't know, man. And I was like, check it out. It was just something like this. Just nothing you'd really worry about, you know? Just something just going.
Yeah.
And then I was like, try a little part like this. And we just added that on there, and they didn't really do much of anything at all.
What are you saying?
Then we pushed this up, and it sounded something like this.
We put our career in this man's hands. Fucking doomed.
And the rest is history.
I knew really early that there was this weird connection that I had with music. I think I probably got it from my father, who he was a violinist, and I think it might have just been passed down from him. And I used to just spend hours and hours with my head pressed up against the speakers with a little tape recorder and recording songs. And I noticed that my friends and nobody else seemed to have just the geek factor that I had when it came to music. I was just obsessed with it.
Both my parents were pretty musical. My dad was very musical and had always played piano and trumpet. And, you know, was into listening, you know, to the radio in the car and all that kind of stuff. I think music was a big part of his life. His mom, my grandmother, was a piano teacher. We actually happened to be at her house. This was, I guess, somewhere around the holidays. And I immediately said, this is what I want. And they immediately said, you're going to learn to play the piano first. And you do that, and then we'll move on to the drums and move on to the guitar. And
So